So let me hear, what did you hear and what can you take from that?
Well, one thing I can draw on that is related to this conversation is, remember that notebook that I showed you in one of our physical meetings, or it was one of Thomas Frank's videos. He had featured some productivity thing where, like, basically you can start tallying how much time you want to be spending on what you need to be spending on, and then in theory, like, if you tally enough, um, if you see a track record of successfully tallying the times in which you are doing what you want to be doing, you can build momentum and confidence in that way. But it reminds me of all the conversations that we've had with Steve on how we should focus on one thing at a time, or one study skill at a time. Because I think on that notebook I showed you, I had pretty much tallied every single one of my courses, including work and research, and the time that I want to spend per day on each of those things. And it just didn't work out very well, because um, when I wasn't hitting the goal, it was like not great.
It's the emotional cost of failure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because those documents, those planning documents are contracts that you make with yourself.
Right.
And so instead of every time spent as a success, what ends up happening is the time spent, you interpret that as a failure, because there's a mismatch, there's a psychological cost that you've set yourself up to pay, right? And so, and then that what ends up happening is, like, that psychological cost ends up, like, the summation of those costs ends up being demotivating. So you get into, like, this downward spiral. But, like, the fact of the matter is, you have to try that for yourself, right?
Right.
Like, and so that was the fact that you were trying it, I think, was a great thing. But for me, I can't do that. I can't, because I've done that before and it didn't work.